To this, and I mean, it looks as if you're going to be in mainland China. Like,
Yeah.
it sounds like there's a lot of floral, a lot of hard to get to roads and stuff like that.
The story most certainly takes sort of outlined through a landscape beginning in the north to the south. But I would say that having come out of the Sundance Screenwriters Lab, I think probably everyone that you've spoken to so far is sort of in this zone.
Yeah,
We're in
yeah.
this mental space right now that it's like we're in the soup right now. We've been shaken up in a good way to think about our scripts, in a way that makes us try to think about it in a deeper place right now, trying to take it to the next level.
Yeah.
So
You got to string those future viewers. You got to bring them into your film. You got to.
I'm sitting in that world right now.
Yeah.
You know, what is the potential for the story that I've come up with, the characters that I've created, and can I make it go deeper? And I think that's the value of this sort of the Screenwriters Lab, is to be able to do that. And it's great for someone like myself who comes from a documentary background, where the details that how I feel about character and such really is, I learned through my experience as a documentary filmmaker, just observing.
Yeah, spending time with your characters.
Exactly, and so writing is very different. It's not like making a documentary. It's a very different approach, and the beautiful thing about fiction is that you're the author of it, and you can create every emotion, every nuance, every detail is in your hands. So I find that it's liberating in a sense as well.
Seeing that you do come from a doc film world, are you able perhaps to equate more palpable emotions to these characters? I mean, you're not, they're a figment of imagination, but I mean, I remember the people that were working on a ship, like, are you able to then extract perhaps a little bit?
Well, I think it's I think some of the characters in the script that I'm working on are based on real people that I've encountered, and I would say that right now they're an amalgamation of different people that I've encountered in my past, and certainly in China. So I think I do, in order to bring a character to life, I do feel like it's necessary to make sure they're real people. In terms of, and something that I've taken out of the Screenwriters Lab is that they have to be so real to you that you know the type of food they eat, and the clothes they wear, and the tattoos if they have any. You think about all these details. It informs the character, which inherently, tacitly informs the writing. So once you figure out your characters, then the writing is the easy part. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I think it's
absolutely.
sort of, one could approach it that way. And writing in itself, having talked to all these great screenwriters, from around the world that have come to help us as advisors, truly you realize that we're all in the same game here. Writing is hard. And there isn't a Sid Field method of writing. It's an amorphous, slow burn, wading through the mud and the darkness and trying to reach a place to come out of it. That's the process of writing. It is hard, and I think we are all going through that. All the fellows and the advisors, we are going through this together.
Yeah, it's a hand in hand.
It's a beautiful environment at the Sundance Institute to be able to have a space where you can, make mistakes and think aloud, and have a sounding board to be able to work off of where things are in your script. Because we're all at a place, I think, that we're trying to discover what that other essence, that next level is. Where is that? Where can we take it? And that's what we've been. That's where I am right now.
Great.
5 days up at the resort, coming to the festival. Now's the time that I'm just going to be able to watch movies. It's the first opportunity I've had in years at a festival like this to be able to just watch.
Because normally you
10
come
films.
to the fest, you're just worried about your film.
You're
and-
so nervous. And you've
Yeah.
got your, in 2012, I had my future wife to be with me, and we had just met, and I had my parents, and the I Still gang. And
Yeah.
We're all in one house, together. Peter Wintonic, of course. We were all together, and it was a real potpourri, hot pot, potpourri, hot pot, more
Melting
hot
pot, I don't know.
melting pot.
Yeah.
More of that environment of pressure pot, hot. We were in a cauldron, and it was there's a different pressure, and this time it's I don't have that. I'm gonna actually study the film.
Yeah, soak
them
everything in.
and see things through the screenwriter's perspective. That's something that's been amazing for me. Even we screened China Heavyweight at the Institute to some of the fellows.
Okay.
And I was sitting there watching this, and it's a sort of
A
doc narrative that feels sort of fictional in a way. And I was looking at it through the eyes of a writer, and I was looking at maybe that sort of script that wasn't there initially, but was pieced together in the editing room. And it was I had the feeling like, God, if I could only have written this, the control of it would have been a much different. But you learn that the nuances are so different between doc and fiction.
The backdrop for your future narrative feature it sounds like it's going to be paralyzing at once and overwhelming also in one regards. What kind of visual ideas is it going to touch upon what we might have seen in your previous films?
I'm going to divulge a secret. I think I'm coming out of this screenwriter's lab at a crossroads, and I'm trying to decide whether I want to go down the realist path, the neo-realist documentary path, or completely turn around and do this sort of neo-noir film, because it's in the world of this, these characters who are in the underbelly of society in a way, or on the fringes of society, and I'm trying to figure out which path to take, or I could take both. So I can't say too much more about it right now. It's so vulnerable right now in my mind, but I'm so excited. I'm just excited for the potential of the story and the visual palette of the story, to challenge myself to be able to take what I've learned in my previous work and apply it into something wholly different for me and challenging. And if anything, it's going to be exciting, and I think the film will be of a time and place. It'll come from the right place.
I was really excited to see your name among the people that here. I said, "Oh, he's switching up the game a bit."
Yeah, it's good to keep yourself on the edge of your seat a little bit, and also not to be pigeonholed. Obviously, China is is something that I'm. The world of China is what I'm interested in currently, and but so many stories to tell in that world, and how you tell it. I'd say it's the execution. It's not really the whether or not you were born to make a documentary. I think it can go either way, and so I'm feeling very malleable right now. To play to different techniques.
Cool. Well, we'll let the film festival influence you and challenge you there as a cinephile, and then looking forward to more news on this one. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Stay in touch. Yeah, thank you.